Hey guys, it's Fries18 here, back with another video. So I know it's been a little while, but I've made something new I thought you guys would like. And that's my Naruto mod. Working on it quite a bit, and so I'm gonna show you guys how to use it today. And of course, links will be in the description to everything. So these guys, on boot, they will spawn in plains biomes, and also a new biome that I added, just called Ninja Biome. It's a red sky, grayish stuff. Anyways, so once you kill him, you get chakra. Grab all this chakra and put it in a crafting table, and you'll get a shinobi egg, and that will create this. That will create this guy, and this guy overall doesn't do much. He's not specifically aggressive or anything like this guy over here, but he's very useful because you can trade in chakra. You're not noticing it right now because I have hoppers under here for scrolls. So it's you right click him with chakra, he gives you a scroll. When the scrolls work, you just right click them and they spawn jutsu for you. And that's what these jutsu actually do and are. We're gonna get to that next. So you can see they're just stackable and that's what they look like. Just little scrolls. And they can carry, I think, up to 14 jutsus right now. And there is more than 14, but we'll get to those later. So we got the 14 right here, and I'm just gonna go in order. So the way, and of course, got a little test chamber over here. So firstly, we got water bullet. That's exactly what it sounds like. This one's more high damage, as all the like elementals have their own kind of general thing. This is like a high damage one. Phoenix flower. Oh, I missed, but it just lights the enemy on fire. It's not high damage, not high knockback, but it's very good at what, just lighting stuff on fire. Earth is going to be good for just a median. It's got a high damage and high knockback. So Earth looks like, and then wind is just really high knockback. So I'm actually going to demo this one outside, and as you can see, it sends whatever you hit with it flying, but doesn't do too much damage. As for crystal, the way crystal works is if you right click, you shoot at a dragon, like a crystal dragon, and if you drop it on the floor, you get a crystal blade. And the way the crystal blade works is it doesn't have pretty much any durability, very weak, but it does have relatively high damage of 12. So you hit something a few times and it'll break. I'm in creative so you can't see it, but it's implied. And then you have wood, and the wood works is right click to shoot out a wood dragon, and left click to put something under a stun. Now you realize this little thing showed up. This indicates how long it cannot move for. So once this disappears, so will the stun. Here's the sand gourd. This is what it looks like. The sand gourd is actually in survival mode. It requires sand to actually operate, so to shoot, do anything like that. But it's used really high powered sand and does relatively pretty high damage. So also, if someone survives a sand shot, it does some nausea. So that's an issue too. Over here, we got Chidori. That's what Chidori looks like. Hit sling with it, gives it like a little slowness effect and does some damage. Yeah, acts kind of like a sword. The thing we didn't showcase yet, because I didn't have enough space in my inventory, was Aburame attack. The way Aburame attack works is if you hit sling with it, it gives it a stun, I think it's poison. And then if you right click, it shoots out bugs and illuminates their body, also giving it a slowness effect. And yeah, it's a nice little attack for that clan. As for all the next stuff, this is all going to be relative to something other than scrolls. So sharingan, you get these from a boss fight with Shishui, who's a NPC I'll show later. But essentially, Shishui drops these little guys, sharingan fragments, pop that in a crafting table. So let's grab this with some phoenix flower. So you do have to grind some scrolls out to get this, ground some Shishuis to get this. And you can get the sharingan. And with the sharingan, basically every time you craft it, there's a chance that something spawns, one of the other abilities. So I'm just gonna grab them all real quick, like this, and to work on that. So firstly, I do want to show off the eyes. These are designed by a friend of mine, and yeah, came off looking pretty good. And that's whenever you hold any sharingan, they'll appear as an armor slot. You just take them off. They really don't do too much armor, so I didn't decide to get rid of them. I thought it might be cool to have them on even when you're not using the Now, as for what it can actually do, the base sharingan is relatively powerful. It you right click, shoot at a genjutsu, looks like this, and if you hit, it also does a genjutsu. That looked relatively strong. It's not strong. That creeper was just very weak. As you can see, just does. I think this one has slowness and some other stuff, and then this one blindness. So yeah, that's what the base genjutsu does. What Itachi Sharingan does, if you right click, it shoots out Amaterasu, and if you left click, it puts him in a genjutsu, and that has a pretty high cooldown. For Kamui Shuriken, we're gonna. Oh, this is the next stuff. I'll get to that in a second. So for Kamui Shuriken, the way this works is you drop it on the ground and you go into another dimension for about 30 seconds and you come back. I'm not going to show that for the case of the video and just convenience to getting back here, but that's what happens. Just drop it, leave this dimension for 30 seconds, go to another one where it's all safe, and come back. That's how that one works. Next we have Susanoo Cage. The Susanoo Cage, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. You put the cage around you, and once again, this is an armor piece. This one does have 6 armor. And if you right click with it, you shoot at Amaterasu, and it gives you strength, slowness, and resistance. So if you hit something with it, you can also give it a little effect. And like I said, shoots Amaterasu with right click and looks like this on the body. Next we have Susuu's. This Susuu's Susanoo, and I'm aware these textures don't look too amazing, but this isn't the final version. This is just beta and a little bit of alpha. So for this one, it may not seem very cool on NPCs. It does give the Susanoo with resistance and slowness, but the main thing it's going to do is against other players. If you hit them with it, it will give them an effect. So, oh, one sec, sorry. But yeah, I'll show the effect later on. But yeah, it just gives them an effect that takes up their entire screen for a couple of seconds and then turns it off. So that's what that does. And like I said, you get those from killing Susuoo. Next, you have the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan is part of a bigger boss fight. Madara spawns. Kill Madara, there's a 1/3 chance it drops Rinnegan, and in there there's a 1/5 chance it drops Shibaku Tensei. So for Rinnegan, I'll show you what these eyes look like right now. Here are these eyes. And as for what it does, it has some pretty strong abilities. So firstly, the right click shoots out just high power, pushback. Left click though, when you hit something with it, flies up and drops back down after about 5 to 3 seconds, I think. And although that's not too powerful in itself, it does have one of the strongest jutsus in the game currently, and that's Shibaku Tensei. Now you hit something with Shibaku Tensei, let's get a fully healed one. Let's get rid of this guy. Summons the meteor, or not the meteor, but the thing all the rocks and stuff get pulled into, makes the entity fly, deals its damage, and drops it down. Obviously you couldn't see it drop down because creepers are a bit too, they don't have enough health for how much it does, but that's the general gist of it. And that's the Rinnegan. Next, these are abilities that you can't obtain through, scroll, and are also just a bit different. So we have all these. I'm going to do them in intervals that make sense for what they are. I'll go over why in just a second. So, firstly, Byakugan. It should be noted, while it's in your inventory, you will... Oh, that's for later. While it's in your inventory, you will always have white eyes, regardless of anything. That's because, of course, the clan, the Hyuga clan, they always had their white eyes on, even when it wasn't active. So, as long as you have the Byakugan in your inventory, you'll always have the eyes on. Now, as for what it does, you can grab it. So, if you hit something with it, it illuminates it. Kind of gives that illumination effect that the Byakugan has. Right click it, it activates your Byakugan. You have night vision and strength for a little bit. And if you throw it on the ground, or sorry, not throw it on the ground. If you right click the floor, you're gonna get this missing texture. This is the twin line fist. It's not fully textured yet. There's some bugs I gotta work out. So just know it's in the game. And that's what that does. And although it works, it just doesn't have it. Has like, I think you can use it twice and then it breaks. 12 attack damage. Basically just a better version of Crystal. That's what that does. Also, if you notice random armor pieces popping onto my body, it's because I'm accidentally hovering over some other stuff. Got the Creeper now, or for their Sengon. Sengon, the Byakugan you get from killing Neji. Or Sengon is a 1 in 3 chance you get from killing for Jiraiya. That's what it looks like. Got a little bubble particle effect. When you right click, it shoots a vanishing or Sharingan. These pack a little bit of punch. They're not the strongest thing, but it would be a bit OP if you could. You know, just spam them. And left click, give you some speed, does some damage, and puts you on a little bit of a cooldown. That's that one. Biotic healing. This is gained from killing Tsunade, who is one of the strongest bosses in the game, simply because of how overpowered this is. As you see, you get the little triangle on the top of your head. You get instant health and strength. And yes, that means the moment you hold this item, you are back to full health, which is why Tsunade is such a hard boss to fight. By the way, mob locations for where all these guys are is going to be in the description of the Curse Forge page. And when you see some later on, like swords and stuff, those are crafting recipes on the Curse Forge page. So anyways, instant heals you, does all that stuff. It's great. When you stop holding it, get 3 more seconds of both the effects, and it wears off. So that's a very overpowered one. As for these next two, these ones are a bit different. So the way that they work is they are both instant kills, but they're a bit balanced. So with 8 gates, the way it works is when you kill something, when you hit it, it does indefinite damage, instantly kills it. The only thing is you also die. So it's a trade-off that I felt was fair. That's how that works. This is the same thing right now. But in the future, I want to make it so that when you kill something, it does indefinite damage, but you teleport to another world, make it kind of hard to escape, that kind of thing. So that's the way these two differ. But right now, they kind of are the exact same. The only difference is Reaper has this nice giant Reaper that follows you behind. And yeah, it's just an armor piece that you take off. Next, we have the Tensegon. So Tensegon, the eyes, I'll show you these. Here are those eyes. And the way the Tensegon works is it's just one ability, but considering how strong it is, I felt it was fair to make it kind of hard to get. You get this from killing Toneri. Summons the moon, stops your opponent from moving, and then giant explosion. Yeah, as you can see, it's a very big explosion. Kind of messed up some of my stuff I got going on here. Which, yeah, but, oh, okay, yeah, messed up a lot of stuff. But you get it, big explosion. That's that one. Let me just do that real quick. I'll navigate around all the broken stuff. So now we have Shukaku. Shukaku can be gained from killing Shukaku. And in this mode, you get the Sand Arm, which is once again an arm piece. Only 6 armor, not the strongest thing, but you know, it looks cool. And basically when you right click, it's like the Sand Gourd, only it does a lot more damage, bigger AoE, and different effects and stuff. And also it does not require sand to use, since Shukaku is kind of a hard boss to fight, and I felt it was fair. Next we have the Ketsurigun, which the Ketsurigun's an interesting one. Right click with it, you shoot out a Blood Dragon. And if you left click, you put something under a Genjutsu. And although you can't see it right here, if I grab an NPC, that's a bit different. So if we grab our Shinobi NPC, you'll notice that when I hit someone with it, they have the eyes too, the Ketsurigun eyes, to indicate they're under the Genjutsu. And I'll show off those eyes right now, see what they look like. And yeah, that's basically it right now. Lastly, I did want to show something off that's not officially in the game yet, but is coming within the next update, and that's Matatabi. Matatabi is going to have these eyes to indicate its mode, since Kurama has its own eyes, which I'll show off in a second, and Shukaku has its own eyes. I'm trying to knock everything out, and so now we have these eyes. And these are going to be Shukaku's, or not Shukaku, sorry, Matatabi's to indicate it's on. Also, this logo is not indefinite, and will probably be changed before the next update. Also note that when you're seeing this video, Shukaku and some of the rest of the stuff I show off isn't official in the game yet, so there's a little bit of, you know, stuff that's not there. That scared me. Let's go over here. And I believe I was right here. Okay, so these are the modes. 10 tails. So the cloak is backwards right now when you get the 10 tails. That'll be fixed in the next update. Considering how hard it is to get it, I thought it was alright. Not many people are going to be having it. But basically, while it's in your inventory, strength 3, I think strength 5, speed 3, and it does, yeah, it doesn't excel much. other than the huge buffs, except the fact that when you left click, you shoot out a high-powered wood bullet. And I will show you the next move right now, and that is Truth-Seeking Orbs. These look like they might not do much damage, but they are pretty. They do pack a pretty big punch. So that's that one. That's the 10-tailed mode. And then as for the next one, we're gonna go 9 tails. 9 tails gives you the same stuff, just a bit lesser. Take this off. You notice you got the QB eyes that Naruto gets when he uses it. I will show those off right now. It's right here. So that's what these eyes look like. And anyways, 9 tails is, in my opinion, one of the best ones to have right now, even better than 10 tails. That's because it has a Biju bomb. When you shoot it, it's a massive explosion. That's it. Doesn't have a left click, but I think the right click more than makes up for it, considering how overpowered that is. Next, we have Sage Mode. Sage Mode, I think while it's in your inventory, it doesn't give you the buffs, but while it's in your hand, it does. And get the Sage Mode eyes. And if we will come over here, grab this again. All these explosions are messing this stuff up, but Sage Mode, you can see you shoot something, it's the total oil bullet. And the update you guys are going to be able to play, like right now after this video, it has effects on it, like you can see like the burning in the air. Here you can't see that because it's a bit bugged at this current stage, but on the update y'all are going to be able to use, it does have effects. And basically when you hit something with it, it just does poison damage. And then next, there are some items that you can't necessarily get the same way. They weren't boss fights though, so I thought I shouldn't put them in there. I will show off all the boss fights and stuff in just one moment, but I felt it was made a bit more sense to go over some other stuff first. So as for Infinite Tsukiyomi, you get the sharingan from doing this, and Infinite Tsukiyomi is not one of the abilities that can be gained from the sharingan when you craft it. Infinite Tsukiyomi is something that needs to be crafted with the 10 tails, Rinnegan, and sharingan all together, which is a very hard crafting recipe to meet for most people. It's gonna take a while to get that, but I felt like it was fair, since basically when you hit something with this, it spawns the God Tree, which I'm aware is supposed to be big. I'm gonna work on that soon, but this is just a placeholder, and gives them pretty much every bad effect, and I believe it gives withering for quite some time, so it's very hard to stay alive after this thing's used on you. So even though it is, very hard to get, it does kind of make sense for how to get it. You have to get Sharingan, Rinnegan, it like ain't 10 tails, so it kind of makes sense with the progression system. So I thought that was a bit fair. Ramen, this is in the game, and there's no way to obtain it other than spawning it in. I will make it so you can just get it from a ramen guy for like Ryu or whatever, but yeah, you can just eat ramen. I think it like gives full nutrition. Honestly, Shinobi World Porter Igniter. It's the Igniter. And basically, you make a portal just like another portal with oak planks. Use this Igniter, which I try to make look like a little Uzumaki sign. I think I'm going to update it soon. And you get this portal. Not the prettiest looking thing, but once you go inside, it's an endless amount of the ninja biome. So I'll go in that in a second and show you guys. But yeah, it's just a way so that you can try to grind easier. And the recipe for this is in the Curse Forge description. But it's just, to like make life a bit easier on everybody. Since it is kind of hard to find that biome in normal survival. So doing it like this still makes you have to grind because you still have to, get scrolls and stuff to get it. I'm pretty sure it requires water bullet or something. And some kunai, which are also available in the description for how to actually make them. I'll go over all the swords in a second. But yeah, it just takes you over to a ninja world where everything's a lot, easier to get. As for swords, we have a very wide selection, and they vary in textures and actual practical use quite a bit right now. It's not fully patched out, and a lot of these weapons aren't entirely done, so you're gonna notice like some have pretty good textures, some don't, etc. Tonto is what it looks like, and gives you speed, does 10 damage. Yeah. Next we have Kusanagi. Kusanagi is not very good right now. Realistically, it has one good thing about it, and that's that if you right click, shoot a Genjutsu equivalent to the Sharingan, and as for damage, 10 damage too. So Tonto and Kusanagi are pretty neck and neck when it comes to this stuff. So it looks like not too great. Next, we have this one. Cannot say its name, but love this sword. Called the Executioner's Blade. And when you hit someone with it, blood effects, and also it has an indefinite amount of health, so it never, runs out. And it's 12 attack damage when you hit it. Next, we have this one. This is the Needle Blade. And for this one, I didn't know how to do it in a way that made sense. So what I did is, it doesn't do high damage attacks, but it does like fast attacks. So you can hit 4 damage, 6 damage very fast. So you can kind of spam this one. That's kind of its novelty, is being able to be spammed. And you will notice it does add a stun effect. So once someone gets you with this one, it's kind of hard to break out of. Kunais. Kunais are currently a little bit overpowered in terms of damage, but basically you throw it, goes out of inventory. Just nice little throwable, like I said. You can craft the Tonto, Kusanagi, and that. As for the 7 deadly swords, I'll get to those in a second. And I got the Kiba blades. Strike lightning on your opponent, give them some effects. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Now for the fun ones, in my eyes, these are some of my favorites. Got the Shibuki. This is the explosion one. You hit something with it, causes an explosion. Doesn't do as much damage as you might think. It's just the explosion is relatively high. So there's that. As for this one, the Hema one, as it looks like. And as for damage, it's not the highest packing punch, but that's because it makes up for it very much so elsewhere. So if you right click, as in the show and as canon, you can shoot out chakra. Now the chakra is not too high powered. It's not like the most OP thing, but it does, I think, 10 damage a hit, and it's not kind of spammable, so not very fair, but that's how that works. And then I believe lastly, we're closing in on all the mobs, so I'll go over all those. And I'm going to go over those in little patterns. So first we got Hirazum. There's him, and he drops Reproductio. That's what it looks like. Gonna kill him real quick, and I'm not dying. That's because I'm in creative mode, so like a million damage against infinity is nothing. Tsunade is what she looks like. She drops my auto healing, as you can see. Jiraiya can actually drop Sage Mode or Rasengan. There's a 1/3 chance for both. That last third is just he drops nothing, but he can also drop both. So Neji, he could drop some Byakugans. I think he definitely drops Byakugans. Actually, never mind, I take that back. Shisui, really only used to be farmed for the sharingan fragments that you can use to craft the sharingan. Other than that, really doesn't have much use. You can drop Phoenix Flower, but I believe, it starts on a very low percentage, so it's kind of, Shisui doesn't really offer too much outside of being able to get a sharingan. Hentails. Now this one is not the tallest, and that will be patched, but is pretty sturdy, high damage, high health, doesn't move too much, but that's what it looks like. So we'll get rid of this. Now that does drop the 10 tails mode. I think that's a 1 in 5 or 1 in 4 chance. Madara. So the way the Madara boss fight works is you kill it, has a chance to drop the Rinnegan, spawns a God Tree, and then after a couple of seconds, the 10 tails spawns. And that's how you get the 10 tails. It doesn't actually naturally spawn, it only spawns after you kill Madara, who does naturally spawn. Kurama. This is, I'd say, probably the 5th Kurama I've made. This is my first time doing any sort of like 3D model, so it doesn't look that great, but this is Kurama, and this one indefinitely drops the 9 tails mode. And it's pretty strong. And let's get rid of this. Clear my inventory. And let me grab the Reaper again. Also, for people who are going to be using some creative modes, just to check stuff out. This is the Naruto Egg tab. This is the Naruto Armor tab. This is all the stuff that's wearable and, you can put on your body. And this is all the main, jutsus and stuff. So, now let's go over here. Grab these guys. These ones are, I'll show you, this one's still in the game right now. This guy, kill him. He drops 8 gates. The reason he indefinitely drops 8 gates and Hirazum indefinitely drops the Reaper is because not only are they high damage and hard to fight, but because I felt like since it's like a you know, you are sacrificing your life to use this move. It's only fair that if you're able to kill the boss, you deserve it, you know? This is these are the 4 ones that you guys don't have access to right now, but will be in the next update in a couple of days. There's Shino, gets your gun, instantly drops. Toneri, one where it's inevitable drop. And these guys are relatively hard. Like, all the bosses are hard to fight. Some are stronger than others that I felt are kind of make sense. For example, like Guy is pretty strong. Tsunade is pretty strong. Like, I think the more strong their move is, I usually increase their health for that kind of thing. Shukaku, this is Shukaku. You will notice that all the mobs don't look too great. I'm working on him. There's Shukaku. He looks kind of messed up right now, but you know, he's a work in progress. Anyways, kill him, and you get the Shukaku mode, which like I already showed off. Gives you the arm, shoot out your sand bullet, stuff like that. And lastly, we got Matatabi. And Matatabi is definitely a work in progress. This one I haven't even finished yet. It's a relatively ugly little guy. He will get worked on a lot. Like, he's not even in the game right now, but his move, all he drops, I don't think he even drops anything yet, but all he has right now is the Matatabi eyes in terms of like abilities. But I think for his abilities, you're just gonna be able to shoot out blue fire, and yeah, he's a work in progress. His whole entire character isn't really in the game yet. But the only what is it? Like Cubbies we have is Shukaku, Kurama, and I guess Matatabi or Ten Tails too. Yeah. So that's everything you know about the Naruto mod. All the crafting recipes and more hyper-specific details will be in the Curse Forge description. Yeah, as you can see, if you look around, there's not much left, I think. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't check off anything. Oh, yeah, these two. Sorry. These two abilities are going to be part of the next update. The next update, I want to add skill learners, which will mainly involve elemental stuff at the start, but it's probably going to go to other stuff in a little bit. So these are, actually you're not going to be able to see it because of this. But this is the first move for, this is going to be the second move first, sorry. It's Earth Fist. It's a weapon, and it just does pretty high damage. Grab a Shishui just to test stuff out on. As you can see, just does pretty decent damage. I think it's, 12 damage, 5 attack speed, so it's pretty fast. Does a decent amount of damage. And yeah, spawn some rock particles. Here's Kirin. Kirin is kind of overpowered. It shoots a lot of lightning, but this is going to be one of the later, moves for lightning. And that about covers it. I don't think I have anything left to show. So yeah, the mod will be in the description. And I've been posting updates about, I'm on version 6 right now. We just got out of alpha. We're on beta now. And alpha's a bit destroyed. But yeah, I think that'll be it. I'm posting updates pretty frequently, so expect a lot of changes in the game. And yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed.